Welcome to Ep43 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Operate out of your dreams and your vision and not other people's expectation. Having breast cancer wasn't my choice, but the decision to live healthy so that I could stand before you here today, that's choice. You can choose this very moment to change your life from every perspective.
Tracy Randolph was our speaker. She came back because so many people liked her first presentation. I was one of those people that joined her fitness group, and it made me a better leader.
I grew up in a community, but they had limiting beliefs on what a little black girl could do. Everything that you do in this life is a choice. I choose to live healthy. I choose to change my mindset. I choose to be everything that I dreamed of because I choose faith and I choose me. Live healthy, be everything that you can be today. Choose yourself.
Imagine a verdant paradise that stands as a convergence of worlds, a living temple of native wilderness, a place where the full potential of inherent human and earth magic can be seen, felt, and understood. A space that attracts the brightest and best of educators on the leading edge. A place of permaculture designed for the benefit of future generations.
Hello everyone, and welcome back. Yes, it's another Wednesday of the Whole Living Show, and I hope that last week that everybody had a wonderful holiday. I hope that you didn't stuff yourself too much, but if you did, I hope that you reset on Black Friday. Black Friday is about resetting. That's my mantra. So I hope that you did that after all of the wonderful food and family, and I hope that you just celebrated, just being around the people that you love. And we always do that with food, usually, most of us out there. So listen, reset. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's all okay. Indulge a little bit. Enjoy your food and the traditions that you have. And then you get back to just living a healthy lifestyle. So we are going to be talking a lot about that today. I have an amazing guest waiting backstage. And she's going to give you some good tips about how to walk into the new year. And I'm not even going to give it away until I introduce her. But I just wanted to talk to you about this part of it, right? We are at almost December. Tomorrow will start the last month of the year, and then we will step into a new year. So I hope that you don't do New Year's resolutions. I hope that you are focused on living a healthy, full, complete, purposeful lifestyle, and that you look to make habit changes that are sustainable within your new year, that you walk in purpose within your new year and not create resolutions that will not last. Not unless you take them seriously. You can call it what you want if you take it seriously. But I hope that you aren't, because they say that, they say that people that create New Year's resolutions, by the end of February, they have stopped implementing what they put forth for those New Year's resolutions. So I don't even like using those words. We don't create New Year's resolutions around here. We create sustainable lifestyle habits, right? So that we can walk in our gifts. And we have BJ out there. Hi, hi, hi. BJ, thank you so much for joining. That is the Brandy Johnson, the Disconnector. We appreciate you being here, BJ. Also, my co-host on Fem Talk as well. So we appreciate you being here. We've got some good stuff for you tonight, BJ. So make sure that you stay tuned. But I just wanted to mention that to everybody because we are walking into the new year. And I want everybody to live successful in the new year with all of the foundational mantras that you need for a sustainable, great lifestyle. So that includes your health and wellness. It includes your finances and your relationships, your spirit, your mindset. And ooh, did I say mindset? Okay, I just gave it away just a little bit. And why? Because my guest backstage, who has been waiting patiently, she is a mindset coach. Okay, so she's going to give you some tricks and tips about how to keep this up here, what is sitting up here in between your ears here, right? And extending to the back, how to keep this functioning and operating in the way that you need it to so that you can do all the things that you are supposed to do in this life, that you can walk in your gifts and your purpose and impact all of the amazing people that you're supposed to impact. So we're going to get into this because it all starts right up here. Okay. You can't do anything if you don't change your mindset. It will not last unless you have the beliefs that you can do everything that you set your mind to, every goal that you have out there, every New Year's resolution, right? If the mindset is not there, it won't be sustainable. So I met this beautiful woman in a class called the Manifestation Hour. We are connected with Miss Manifest, and we were in the Manifestation Hour, and she's just absolutely amazing. She was talking about her progress. And now I want you to catch something. Did you hear that I said she was in a class? Even though she's a mindset coach, right? Because coaches have coaches. Coaches take classes in order to better themselves, to help better you. So she was in the manifestation hour and just manifesting everything that she's been called to do, everything that she dreamed of has been happening. And we're going to get into it. I don't want to give it away. But if you follow her, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't follow her, you're going to want to by the first 5 or 10 minutes of this conversation, because she's out there doing some absolutely amazing things. Her name is Nicky Cuesta from Building a Leadership Mindset. We are going to bring her in right now. I want you to give her a virtual round of applause. Woo!
Hello, Tracy. Hey, everyone out there in the, metaverse and all that good stuff. How is everyone? How are you?
I am great. And I love that you said in the metaverse. Speak that into existence. So here she is manifesting right here on the show. So you might see us in virtual character next time out in the metaverse, right?
Absolutely.
So
I mean, that's
that.
where we're going to, right?
Right. That's right. I love that you said that. So before we go into everything that is Nicky, talk about why you decided to have coaches, because I know you have a few, not just one that I mentioned, but that you have a few. So tell me why you decided to do that.
So entering the world of entrepreneurship a couple years back, I knew that I couldn't do it myself, though I always had the drive, always had the go-to attitude. I can motivate myself, I can inspire myself, but I didn't want to waste time.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make sure I got in and knew exactly who I needed to speak to, who I needed to bring into my circle.
Mm-hmm.
And 2022 was the year that, I asked God and said, I need you to put the right people in my path. I need community. I need authentic community at that. And I need the right people to lead me exactly where I need to go. It started with Joshua Ortega, who introduced me to the entrepreneurship world. Then it went on to Emilio Roman, who's my publisher of my book. Then it went to Jose Escobar. And then, Miss Manifest, absolutely amazing. And now J.R. Spears. So I have four coaches that I'm like full time with, and they all have something to offer, and I just love them all, and I appreciate where they have helped me get to where I'm at today.
Yeah, and I love that you said, I love a few things that you said, but it's key to have coaches for different areas in your life too, right? You mentioned having publishing a book and having a coach in that area, having a manifestation coach, and there's different areas in your life where you need coaches, right? Nobody concentrates on just one thing, and if you want to live a full life and you want to enhance mind, body, and spirit, business, finances, relationships, right? You need coaches in those areas who specialize in those areas. And then Brandy says, which was another point that I wanted to make, that part, authentic, right? You want authentic coaches who actually do what they say they do, right? And have the proof for what they say they do, and a heart and a passion for people. So love that you mentioned the word authentic too. So talk to us a little bit about that journey from, knowing that you had the desire to do something else, making the decision to leave corporate America, and then the journey of progression in your business.
Yeah, so wow, that it has been, and what's crazy? It's been a 20-year journey altogether, but it's really just like blew up in the last 2 years because I made that decision. So as a little girl, I was never brought up as an entrepreneur. Obviously, my family, great parents, great motivation to go to school, get a job, get an education, and that was it. It never went to, why don't you start your own business? What are your gifts and talents? We never had those conversations at home. And, I didn't know where to go. So after, high school and, just getting into certain things, it wasn't until my 20s that I kind of started dipping in to entrepreneurship, taking a business course. And then I wasn't educated in finances. So I thought, I don't have the money to, do a startup business. So I just gave up. Just continued working, got my first big break in corporate America, did that for 15 years, kind of hit a glass ceiling. Even after becoming a licensed realtor, found out that I really didn't like the paperwork and all those time crunches.
Yeah.
I think I went through one transaction and one referral and just decided to be a referral agent. I'll get the passive income. It's okay. Then
I got to stop you 1 minute right there, because I love the pivot. I love the recognition of, okay, this is not for me. However, I can still make something of this, right? And you just pivoted. So I love that. But go ahead.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I invested time, I invested money in that license. I keep it in my back pocket for a just in case. You never know. Why not? Right. So fast forward, went back to college, got my degree in health information technology. As I was working in healthcare, I really thought that they were going to have to drag me out of this company. I love the company as a whole. They gave me my big break. Love the people I worked with. But again, I still was not hitting something. Like I was a trainer for onboarding, and just listening to people come in and just say that they were miserable, that they can't get these certain processes and things like that. And me putting things in place to kind of help them and motivate them. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I definitely wanted to inspire and motivate people. But when I didn't get a certain title within the position within my company, I'm like, wait, I'm really hitting the glass ceiling here. So I, got my notary license in 2020. After the pandemic smacked us in the face, right? And I still worked 9 to 5, and just started kind of just doing them both, doing the notary part time, and then one day I decided, hey, I'm going to take some PTO, see what I can do with this notary license. So I took the last week of September and took that time off and made my first 1,600 in only an 18-hour work week. So that was the eye opener. That was like, okay, but mind you, I'm working on two huge major projects at my job. I'm the go-to person. You know, I love my team. What do I do, right? What decision am I going to make? And I came in that Monday morning and I sat at this desk right here, just looking at this computer, and he spoke to me. He said, you are not to be doing this the rest of your life. You need to go. Like yesterday, I turned in my, resignation letter. I was very modest. I gave them 3 weeks instead of 2-week notice. And, I stood there and I just gave myself permission to succeed. That was my breaking moment. I couldn't do it anymore.
And we can't pass up that last part, just in the fact that you said, I gave myself permission to succeed. So now I'm going to take you into your coaching hat a little bit too, because how key is that? And that shift that you gave yourself, right, in mindset to say, I'm giving myself permission here to do what I really want to do. Talk a little bit about what that takes, like what that requires in order to change your mind to do that.
Oh my goodness. For me, it required 13 mindsets, which is the 13 mindsets to give yourself permission to succeed, which is the subtitle of my book, Building a Leadership Mindset, and which comes out in January, that I'm super excited about. I can't wait till it gets into people's hands. And it's really 13 mindset. First is courage. You have to have the courage to really take those leaps of faith, those steps into your purpose. You have to get ready to do it, which is the second mindset. Then you have to set the expectation for yourself and what you're going to do in this new journey that you decide to do, right? Then you have to take action. How does that look like? What things do you have to change? How do you transition? And what expertise do you have to back all that up? So that's the first part of my course, which is create. Then the second part is success. And it's really putting a support system together, understanding what you can and cannot do, and understanding your purpose and the all around everything. Then we go into some other things. I'm not going to give a lot of stuff away.
Right.
The main thing is that we have to understand that we're all given a gift in life and a calling. And we have lots of passions, but passions can lead to hobbies and lead to things that we might want to do for a season or a certain amount of time. It's really finding your purpose. It's finding your purpose within your passion. So I have different strategic ways to find that, to kind of decipher, which ones are which, and how do you make a blueprint plan to create your own success. So I'm super excited about that.
I love it. So, like my head is like, la. I have so much in there when you speak it. I'm like, oh, because I know you too, right? So talk to us about putting that program together. And there's a strategy there that I heard, right? In terms of the way you order things with the create and then the success. So talk a little bit about that part of it and why it's important to do it in that order.
It's definitely important to do it in the order because you first have to find out it's a how, right? We're always looking for the how. The how is always last. You have to have an idea first, or again, a passion or something that comes to you that you're just like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You either see it, someone else do it, you kind of stumble upon it when you're doing, certain tasks, in your life, or when someone asks you to do something and you're like, you know what, maybe let me YouTube it, let me Pinterest it, put it together, make it happen. You're like, wow. And maybe it's other people seeing from the outside in saying, girl, you need to do that. Like, that's what you need to do, right? So you just never know. It can come from any avenue. So once that's there, it's like, okay, why do I want to do this? You have to ask yourself why you do anything you do at least 5 times. And you're going to get to the core and the passion of why you have to, like, you can't breathe if you don't have it, you can't sleep if you don't have it. And let me tell you, a lot of my downloads come around 3 o'clock in the morning. I just want to stay cozy in my bed.
Yeah.
But I have notebooks everywhere, and the manifestation hour, Miss Manifest, is just magical when it comes to really organizing yourself in a way that's going to help guide you. And I can't take credit 100% of me thinking about these certain strategies, because she like kind of instilled those things, which kind of made me create what I created, right?
Yeah.
So definitely have to give kudos to her. And then even the group, everyone in the group has something to offer as well, and in all my groups.
Yeah.
So I kind of just observe. So in that process, in creating that strategy, is taking the steps. You don't want to just say, hey, this is what I want to do, and then go into it a year in and you're like, wow, nothing's happening, nothing's going on, this is not going to work, and then you give up. But if you take those disciplines and you take those strategies and you kind of define them clearly, step by step, you're a year in and you're like, wow, what more can I do? What more can I add on? Like, how can I add value? And that's really why I laid it out like that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So, oh goodness. Okay. So I want to go on the flip side too of one thing that you said, because you talked about when people are kind of talking to you about what they see for you. So talk a little bit about how it's important to listen to that. However, not to absorb that to the point where it defines you, because you really have to find your own passion in that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to get all different angles, all different perceivements of who they think you are. And you have to kind of pick and choose what you have to take that information, kind of, register it and say, is this really me? Because not everything that everyone tells about you, that it's you, right? It's not you. No,
Right.
I'm not like that. And then you also have to say, am I coming off that way? Do I want people to see me in this light? And then start readjusting and reassessing that. So that's a great question.
Yeah.
But it is important, because someone said, as I was a trainer, someone said that I should do Toastmasters. That was something that I've been doing for the past year and a half, and I absolutely love it. I enjoy it. It has helped me grow. But other people said, well, you should do marketing and web design and stuff like that, because I do my own stuff. Now, let me tell you, I've been trying it. I've been doing it for the past couple months, working with some clients. I enjoy it, but it's not something I can see myself managing all the time. So it's okay. Like, if someone gives you that advice, test it out.
Yeah.
See what it is, but never go and accept anything that you can't accept yourself.
Yeah.
Don't make that yours until you make it yours.
Yeah. And I love that you said test it out, though. Just recognize, what's coming up for you as you're testing, right? Because you'll never know until you actually do it, right?
Absolutely.
But recognize the feelings that are coming up, the mindset that comes into play as you're doing it, right? Well, what emotions are you feeling? What are you thinking as you're doing it?
Yeah.
And then either, expand it or shut it down, depending on, what's downloading, what's coming in. So I love that you said that, test it out. And okay, so that leads to my next question, because I love the success part of your program too, where you talk about, really honing in on your purpose. So talk a little bit about that connection with the testing, but also with the recognizing, either if it's coming from a download or if it's thoughts or feelings. Just talk about the importance of that too.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. When it comes to success, we don't know how we're going to get it. We don't know where we're going to land in that bucket, or whatever you want to call it. So you really have to. So basically, one of my S's, if we, because it is abbreviated. So one of my S's is being able to surrender. Surrender to things that you can't control.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more important to stay still than to keep going before you make decisions and stuff like that. We're always on a fast pace. We're always looking to make things happen
Yeah.
And sometimes when we get frustrated when things are not going the way we want them to go, because it's never on our time, you know whose time it's
That's
on,
right.
right?
That's right.
So, and sometimes we're impatient, and we're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
Because we know we have something, that can help others, and it's tangible, and you just want to be that servant leader, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important to surrender those things that you just can't control,
Yeah.
and just be still in the moment, kind of embrace the failures, because they're not really failures. Failures are lessons to be learned.
Mhm.
You figure out what your capabilities are, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what you're good at, and what you need to surrender to someone else, someone that loves what they do. And I was actually on, I think it was on one of my podcasts today.
Mhm.
I have to go back and remember my day, but someone said that it all depends on the things you say, the things you put out there. And I think it was a yesterday's call.
Mhm.
The law of attraction,
Mhm.
about what we say actually comes out,
That's
and if we're thinking
positive or negative, right?
positive or
So
negative,
that's
good
right.
or bad,
That's right.
ugly or cute, whatever.
Mhm.
There's always a balance, and
That's
you
right.
have to be able to speak life into yourself.
Mhm.
Like, you have to believe that there is more, that
Mhm.
you have more,
Mhm.
that you can do more.
Mhm.
So, so the success part starts with being able to understand and surrender at some point, and then, go at it again and reset, just like you do.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it.
Thank you for that. But I have a mentor who talks about you have to mastery requires patience, and you mentioned
Mm,
that patience, being patient. He says master the mundane too, because
mhm,
you have to continue to do something, right? It's practice. It's practice. You got to continue to do those things that maybe you don't like to do. However,
mhm,
those are the things that are going to help you be successful. So sometimes you have to master the mundane to get
mhm.
to the point where you need to be. I read this book called The Practicing Mind, and that's what it talks about, the practice along the journey. So when he in the book, he talks about not even worrying about the destination, because it's the
Mhm,
journey that matters, because the destination always moves, right? Because once you get to one goal, then you've got another one, and you just keep moving forward, right? So he's like, you don't worry about the destination. The goal is there. You've set it, you put it out there in the universe. Enjoy the journey along the way.
mhm.
And you mentioned, the failures are their lessons
Yeah.
to help you grow, right? So, if you enjoy the journey, then you'll appreciate the failures just as much as the wins. So,
Probably even
yeah,
more.
exactly.
Probably even more, because they're those lessons. They're the life-changing moments.
Yeah.
And my last S in success is satisfaction.
Yeah.
And I talk about that too in my book, where we can be satisfied once we hit each and every goal,
Mm-hmm.
but we never arrive.
Mm.
So you're always going to reach another level of, getting to a place of a new satisfaction, of a
Mm-hmm.
new goal, of a new whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So just be prepared that satisfaction and
Yeah.
the expectation of it will change.
Yeah. Yeah, the expectation of satisfaction. Oh, I like that. I like that. I might have to use that.
Hey,
I'll give you credit for it, but I might have to use it.
no worries.
I absolutely love that. I want to go back a little bit to the surrender part of it also. I love that you had that
Mhm.
in there, knowing that you're a spiritual person too. That just connects with me so much. But that's what sometimes people don't realize, that that's so necessary, right? You have to surrender to the calling, which is the purpose, right? You got to surrender to that. So I love that you put that part in there as well. So I wanted to ask you, when it comes to that success piece, and you're going through your program with your clients, do you ask them to define success?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, what does success look for them?
Yeah.
What does everything look for them, from all different mindsets, and
Mhm.
how to face them in each, because everyone's different. Everyone's at a different part in their life.
Mhm.
So some people can have the confidence, have the motivation, have all that, but they lack being able to let go, being able to understand why things are happening to them, or why they're not succeeding, or why is it taking too long. So it all depends. It's an encompassing for everyone. However, some of the mindsets will have to be worked on a little bit more for others, or less, and we can make that happen.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love this. Okay, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break, everybody. I don't want you to go anywhere, because when we come back, I want to get into a few things. Your book, your podcast, Ladies of Leadership. I want to hear more about all of those items. So don't go anywhere, everybody. Stay tuned. There's so much more to come from Nicky. This powerhouse, she's doing a lot. So I want you to hear all about this as well, because I know there's just a lot to that as well. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Here.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started. One story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
All right, everybody, we are back. We are back. And Nicky, I think you need a commercial, love. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm putting that out in the universe for Nicky there. But we're gonna bring her back. We are speaking with Nicky Cuesta, mindset coach, building a leadership mindset. You want to hear the second half of this? Here we go.
I heard that. I do need a commercial, and I'm actually working on one.
All right. I want to talk about everything that you have going on. So you mentioned the book, so let's start there, but kind of move from the book to the podcast to, or maybe I shouldn't say move that way, kind of move to what inspired what, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's probably a series of things that happen, right?
Yeah. It definitely is. So let's just go back to 2020. So I built in February, right before the pandemic, I knew I wanted to start, some type of coaching with my training and stuff like that. Even though I was working a 9-to-5. So I started a YouTube channel called Building a Leadership Mindset. Who would have known, right? This was before the book, before the course, before everything. And I only have one video on there. It was about growth mindset and fixed mindset. And being a notary and working a 9-to-5, I was driving everywhere. I was just on the computer. So I didn't have time to add content. So it had been sitting, and it's still sitting for 2.5 years. But fast forward to when I got the connection with Emilio Roman. I was, he heard my story and he was like, you need to tell your story, right? So, and my biggest goal was to write my book before, by the age of 40. Mind you, I just turned 40 this year.
All right.
So to be able to, and I hope I don't get emotional, to be able to launch my book like 2 months before my 41st, it's just a huge accomplishment, a huge blessing. And I couldn't just be any happier, right? So with that book, I was like, okay, I have the book going, I'm doing it. I said, hey, then we have Miss Manifest, and she's like, we have a podcast training. Let's do a podcast. So I jumped on that, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to call it? Building a Leadership Mindset. Downloaded Anchor, did everything, but I never did my first episode until we actually had the physical training. And she made us do it like right on the spot. And I was like, okay. So I just, put it out there. And what
okay, I got a podcast now.
Exactly. What really propelled that was because Emilio and Daniela asked me to be a co-host in June of this year for their E360 TV as well. And I enjoyed it. I did it for the whole month, and it was just an amazing experience. So I was like, you know what? And then they tell me, oh, you should have your own show. So I'm like, okay, now I have my podcast. Let's do it. So, just that led to starting the podcast. I initially was just, kind of putting just my thoughts about mindset, and things like that. And then I was like, I have all these communities. I have all these amazing people doing amazing things, let me add more value to this podcast. So I started inviting them on my show and recording. And, you've been on there, which was an amazing episode. And, I just kept doing it. And actually, see, only on your show, surprise, surprise, I'm actually about to hit my 50th interview. So we are doing a pop-up event for the next week, the week of December 19th to the 23rd. So you need to mark your calendars. We need to see when you can go live with us. And we just want everyone to be re-celebrated, just kind of a thank you and re-highlighting everything that you guys do, because you guys are just amazing. And just have a nice live party, because it is a milestone. For me, just, in July, I started this, and it has been a true hit. So, and I love everyone that's been on. And then, doing that, and writing my book, I had some researching that I did, and I fell into this, this Fortune 500 article about how women only have 44 seats in the Fortune 500 company. And I was like, what? I'm like, this can't be. I know thousands of amazing women that are just doing their thing, and we're only just holding 44 chairs, 100, which is 80% of the population. And it just broke my heart. And I'm like, no, we have to do something. So again, I did some meditating, see what the downloads, what can I do to, make a change or some type of movement. So I did. So Ladies of Leadership came to mind. And then I was like, okay, well, I need a really, strong tagline with it. And it's our presence. Like, we need to be on these stages, the John Maxwell's, the Grant Cardones, it has to be Tracy, it has to be Nicky, Miss Manifest, and all the people that we know. Right. So even though, we take stages, we just need to take more of them. Right. And we need to build those stadiums. So I decided to put a membership group together and really just get every lady that crosses my path, they'll get an opportunity to really join our community. And I want them on every level. You could just want community, and that's it, and then build something enormous. That's really my goal. And then you can already be in the game for so long and just give back. So everyone learns and all this stuff. And that's really my goal. It's really a movement. I want to go all around the country with it. I have 22 members now that are, super excited to, be a part of it. We're in Canada, we're in South Africa, We have the states all around. We have Texas. We have, oh my God, I can't even name all the states. That's where Ladies of Leadership really came, to play. And obviously with the book, the podcast, Ladies of Leadership, is how I motivate. This is just me every day. Like if we have a conversation and I hear someone saying something, hey, try this. Always give a suggestion. So I'm very observant. A lot of people would think I'm an extrovert, and I'm really not. I'm totally an introvert.
You know what's funny? Because I know you're an Aries as well. But you
Yes.
know what's funny? People always think that about us. But we're like so good being solo and kind of off on our own by ourselves. But when we need to, right,
Yes.
mix with the crowd and do the things that we need to do, we'll just do it, right?
Yes. We're always ready
Yeah,
to show up and show out. But
yeah.
a lot of people would think that, I like to talk all the time. And again, I'm really an observant of character, just of people really wanting to make that change. And, I'm just ready. I stay ready just to make sure that I can make an impact on someone else's life, one life at a time.
Oh, I love it. So I want to show your website for one, because let me just ask, because all of the things that you've mentioned, people can get from your website, right? Your book,
Yes.
well, the book release is coming out in January.
Well, it is on pre-order, so you could pre-order it now. You'll get an
nice.
autographed copy, and you'll get a 30-minute coaching session with me for free. And you can also get my podcast. Links are on there. Some testimonials. I have all the mindsets in the gallery. I'm actually working on adding. Now that the book is done, adding the activities from my book, because it's not just a book that is just read and done. No, you're going to have to put some work. There's some action plans, things to really think about, and just build that for yourself. So that's my goal with the book as well.
I love it. So would you call the book now kind of like your prelude to the program? So if people get the book and then they're like, I need more of this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. I love just the way you've kind of moved into everything, and how connected it all is.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
so
that.
crazy that it happened that way, right? Like that wasn't like
that's called alignment, girl. I love that.
I definitely did not plan it, but things started very early, like I said, 2020, and that YouTube channel was really made for that. Yeah, and I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I love it. The order is absolutely amazing how everything kind of works in combination with everything else. So you're just doing some amazing things. In the manifestation hour, they're always like, Nikki is doing it. She's doing it. And you really are. You really are. So, my hat's off to you. I have to say too, because I gotta put this out there. You are absolutely amazing at the podcast and interviewing as well. Like, the conversation that we had just flowed so amazingly. And I was like, this is so good. I felt so good coming off of that podcast recording. So I just have to pour that out there. Everybody out there, make sure that you go listen to Building a Leadership Mindset podcast, please, because it's absolutely amazing. So, but when you come from, your heart and just that authentic place, right? It flows so much through you. I absolutely love it. So I just appreciate this. So tell us, what is next? Because there's a lot going on right now with Nicky Cuesta. What's next?
Wow, what's next? There's so many things. So obviously in January, I'll be launching my book. So I'll have, I actually got asked to have a speaking engagement, but wait a minute, I'm talking about January. We're still in December, and you said something very important in the beginning was we don't do New Year's resolution, right?
That's
Every day is a new day to make a new goal and hit a new goal, right? There's you don't have to wait till December 31st, 11:59 to turn in that list. You can do vision boards all throughout the year. You can set goals, and you want to set goals at a short pace. Don't overwhelm yourself. Never do that. Like, we can have the big 5-10 year goals, but there's going to be baby steps that you need to take. So with that being said, on December 10th, it's a Saturday, from let's see. From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am having a online business mindset mania. I have, my 3 coaches. One of my coaches, Miss Manifest, she's actually going to be out of town that week, so she couldn't make it as a speaker. I absolutely love her. But so I have 3 of my coaches, and I also have 3 amazing individuals that, I have met, during this journey. And plus, I will be giving some highlights, some giveaways. We'll talk about my book, and we're going to do a very great activity about limiting beliefs. And I just want, that's where it starts. It starts with what we believe in, right? And it all starts in the mind. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It's just a 3-hour jam packed. And what it is that you're going to actually have takeaways. You're going to actually have tangible 30, 60 day, 365 day planned worksheets and so much more that you can actually be able to that night set up your 2023.
I love that. And this is all virtual, you said?
It is virtual. It's a small fee of $37. I mean, for my coaching, I've paid more than thousands. So this is like pennies.
Right.
And, just have to do what we have to do because, we're putting our time into it. So, but we just want to get people absolutely ready from our hearts to just kind of pour into them and really know that this is your time. If anything, 2020 taught us was that was the year of clarity, perfect vision, right?
Yeah.
We were definitely, some people were prepared, some people weren't. And those that weren't either took advantage or they didn't. And I made sure that I was one that definitely took advantage of that opportunity. And we just want to continue that concept to years to come. We shouldn't have a horrible, even when 9/11 happened, that was another eye opener.
Right.
We don't want for these horrific things to happen to our country, to our people, in order for us to straighten up and do what we are meant to do.
Thank you. So with that being said, everybody, because she's making me want to just like give you the pointer. With that being said, tomorrow is December 1st. And I always say you phrase it differently, but every day is an opportunity to reset. So I want everybody to get up tomorrow, reset, put some things in place that are going to allow you to do what you need to do to get where you need to be in health, in relationships, in business, in finances, whatever that is. Reset tomorrow. Don't wait until January 1st. You heard Nikki say it. Don't wait until January 1st. Make sure that you start December 1st. Tomorrow is your January 1st right now.
Every day is January 1st.
Right. Right. And I love that you talked about the everyday, right? Because it does take that waking up every day, setting new goals, little steps that are going to get you to the larger goal until that needle gets moved, right? And then you just keep going with those steps and steps and steps. It's like walking up a flight of steps. You take one step at a time and you just keep going. It's like never ending. So don't get caught up in the, oh my gosh, the goal looks so far out. No, it's really not. It's everything that you do every day that's going to make you successful, whatever success means to you out there, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to kind of add something to that as well.
Sure.
Remember to reassess how you're thinking, how you're feeling, what are you doing? Are things, like, are you really putting your time and your efforts in the right places? Are you, acting on just pure emotion? Are you taking time to think about it? There's so many questions that you can ask yourself each and every day to fill that mind up with your true purpose. Because when we're saying, you know what, that can wait for later, and no, that's not what we do. That's not what we do, and that's not what we should do. Like, we do need some self-care as well. Definitely, because you can work too hard. Trust me, us entrepreneurs, we try to do it 10, 12, 14-hour days.
Right.
We have families waiting for us to cook up a dinner.
That's
and
right.
we just want to, overwork because we want to help so many people, but we also have to understand to pull back. That's the other surrender part, where you kind of have to, if you want family time, plan that out in your day. If you want that self-care time where you just want to get a mani-pedi, where you just kind of want to, listen to some music and, whatever music you listen to. I preferably like worship music. Now, when I drive, it drives everybody crazy because I have no music on. Like when I drive, I'm either
With your thoughts, right?
to a podcast, an audio book, or I'm in pure silence and prayer my whole destination. So when I have people come in my car, they was like, "Where's the music?" No, music in here because I'm on a mission, and that's really where I get a lot of my downloads. So just always, how are you using your time, and use it wisely, because that's something we can never get back.
Yeah, and that's one of the most precious commodities, right? And when people talk about, wanting freedom, money is beautiful, right? Because money allows us to impact even greater. However, time freedom is like true success. And that's my opinion. Okay.
No, I'm with you though.
Okay. And I'm sticking to it. But time freedom, there's so much beauty in having time freedom to be able to do, what you want to do, what you need to do, but being able to manage that time in your own way. And you mentioned something too about scheduling things. Be meticulous with your schedule. It is okay. Because some people think like, oh my gosh, like I'm scheduling time with my family. Like that just doesn't seem right. No, it helps you to make sure that you actually spend the time with your family. So schedule that time out so that you do get the quality time that you need with your family versus rushing, right, to get a goal done and then rushing back to your family. Something is going to get missed if you don't. So I love that you said schedule your time out too, because that's so important. I remember when I was working with someone and he showed me his calendar, and this was prior to me becoming an entrepreneur. So, and he showed me his calendar. He had every little thing in the calendar. Time with his kids, going to the beach, like everything was in that calendar. And I was like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this.
It works. It helps. It totally helps for sure.
So I would ask you, give us, a quick tip going into December, right? Because we're not waiting until January, but going into December and success for, the coming year also.
Yeah. So again, that's a hard question because again, everybody's at a different state. But if I can give any tip, it's just to really believe. To really believe. I mean, so many things are possible and they're just waiting for you. Like your blessings are there to grab them.
Yeah.
How far are you willing to reach?
Yeah.
You have to extend it. You have to ask for it and receive it. Trust me, it's there. And that's the main tip. Just go and grab it and hold on to it and run with it.
I love that. And you know how things are always in alignment. I was in a Clubhouse room, listening in and contributing to the conversation, but that was the premise of the conversation. Believing in, whatever it is that you see for yourself, like believing in it to the point where you just know it is absolutely going to have it. That's what faith is. So I love that you said that. Everybody out there, believe in yourself. You heard it here from Nicky Cuesta. Make sure that you are going into tomorrow, right? Because we're not waiting until January. That's right. Going into tomorrow. And you can start right now, actually, because I put out a post yesterday that said the only guaranteed time that we have is right now. Your time to start everything that you want to do for yourself is right now. So take this from Nicky tonight. Right now, you are going to decide to believe in yourself, in your gifts, in your purpose, in your walk in this life, and do everything that you are called to do here. So I thank you, Nicky. Thank you
so much for having me. You're just amazing. I love everything that you're doing and being able to share in this journey through the manifestation hour and everything that you're doing. I'm here to support. I'm just a text away, but I just love you truly from the bottom of my heart. You are just inspiring as well.
I thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I love the flow. As always, right? I experienced that on your podcast and I love it here. So I'm just thank you because you lead with your heart. So I just appreciate that about you so much. So listen, you're going to have to come back because you have a release coming out in January. And I know that there's more for Ladies in Leadership also coming for next year. So you got to come back. We appreciate you, everybody out there, for joining us here on the Whole Living Show. Oh, wait, before I take that down, make sure that you connect with Nicky right here on Building a Leadership Mindset. You can get everything from her podcast to her early release on the book to subscription in Ladies of Leadership to connecting with her on social media right on her website. And I got to say, before we end this, that's how you do it.
Yes.
One
Yes.
place, everything, one-stop shopping for everybody
One-stop
right
shop.
there.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love
And
it. So
simple. Let's get to the point.
that's right. That's right. We appreciate you, everybody out there. Thank you, BJ, for connecting with us here as well and commenting. So don't forget to connect with us. Also, next week here on The Whole Living Show, we are going to have a guest by the name of Charles Smith, who has an amazing story as well. We will be here next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care.